Good morning, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us again today for our community briefing. We at the City of Grand Junction continue to hear your questions and your concerns, and we're working with our community partners to address them as best as we can. We all know that COVID-19 is going to provide a substantial impact on our economy, both nationally and here locally. And our hope today is to provide you with some updated information regarding how our community is moving forward. Again, if you're joining us on Facebook, while we won't be answering questions live, we encourage you to put your questions in the comments below and we will address them as best as we can. For the media, there will be breakout sessions after this advisory. Today, I'm joined by City Manager Greg Caton and Incident Commander for this week, Police Chief Doug Shoemaker. Also joining us is Mayor Rick Taggart and several of our economic development community partners. At this time, I'm going to pass things over to City Manager Greg Caton, and he will begin our briefing.
Thank you and welcome. As Kelly indicated, we have quite an agenda lined up today. Last week, we started hearing discussions in our community about the concern regarding economic development and the economic development crisis that has emerged not only locally but across the country. In an effort to answer community members' questions, we started working with our economic development partners to assemble a team to address your questions. So there'll be a great number of speakers today to provide information really across our community and how certain organizations are preparing relief efforts to address community concern. Also, we often start off the community briefing with updates from Mesa County Health Department. It's so critical as the foundation of this incident is a health pandemic. So we want to continue to bring you the updated information on the health situation. So we have experts here today in that regard. Also, we continue to have our incident commander, as referenced this week. It's our police chief, Doug Shoemaker, to bring you critical information about essential city services. It remains our constant, vigilant effort to prepare for essential city services as we continue to move through this crisis. So it is my pleasure to introduce, to start us off, Mayor of Grand Junction, Rick Taggart, to say some updated information based upon the City Council meeting last evening. Mayor Rick Taggart.
Thank you, Greg. And before we talk about last evening's meeting, I just want to address many of the emails that many of us may be getting at this point, and a point of clarity. Some of our citizens are asking me in particular, Rick, why are you focused on the economic side of things and the economic emergency as compared to the medical emergency? And I think it's important to say we are focused on both. But the medical emergency, and if there is to be a stay-at-home declaration, or what some people call shelter in place, that is going to come first and foremost from the governor, and then it will come through Mesa County. The reason we can't do it as a city is that Mesa County, and we all know in this valley, we're very much intertwined. So if the city of Grand Junction was to do something in that area and not pay attention to what's going on in Palisade and Fruita, we just create confusion. So I hope we can clarify today that if there is a declaration of that nature, it's going to come from the governor first, and then it's going to come through Mesa County. So please, I hope everybody understands that. So if we can now move on to what council worked on last night, and perhaps a little bit about future. Last night we approved a deferral of payment for our businesses in Grand Junction. So we declared a state of emergency as it relates to our economy for the city. That's the first thing we did. And then right behind that, we approved a measure that allows our businesses that normally would have paid their sales tax last Friday, for the month of February. We have now deferred that payment to, in fact, July the 31st. That puts about $4 million back into the Grand Junction economy and provides cash flow that hopefully our businesses can use obviously to help their employees as well as pay other vendors. And if they already paid that payment to us, they can also, in both cases, they'll need to fill out a form. But once they fill out that form with us, we will give them a rebate for their February sales tax. So, and that program has now been approved by City Council and is ready to go. We are also looking at other measures to stimulate the economy. But I'll finish by saying we are not trying to do economics at the expense of the medical. We're going to take very, very clear direction from Mesa County, from the governor, on what the expectations are. We're just trying to balance both because both are problematic at this point. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Now I will introduce our Police Chief, Doug Shoemaker, who is Incident Commander.
Thank you, Greg, and thanks to everybody for tuning in and being engaged. We appreciate the engagement, and that's really a key to our success, I think, as we navigate throughout this incident. A few quick things. First, a reminder, our parks are still open, and that space and recreation is perhaps now more than ever really important to all of us within our community. So I would ask that you please help keep them open by following all the health and safety guidelines that are posted within. Simple things such as no gatherings more than 10 people. If you're sick, stay at home, and then keep a safe distance from one another while you're there. So again, all those things can really be helpful. We want to keep the parks safe for everyone. This is a community effort, so we ask for your assistance on that. Also, within the parks, please respect any facility closures that may be posted there. If you happen on a locked gate, we assure you that's not on accident. That's purposeful. So please be respectful of the measures that we're putting in place, not only to protect you, the public, but also our parks employees. I want to reiterate that we're working very hard within our community to talk about city services and infrastructure, and we are sharing information from our partners within the community, particularly today, about everything that we know about what's happening and what's evolving on a day-by-day basis. So we'd ask you to continue to check back with us frequently and ask the questions through constructive feedback. That listening on our part and implementing changes is happening on a regular basis. So we encourage you to communicate with us as you need to and as you feel is appropriate. We basically want to meet you where you are, and if we can assist in that communication effort to do something better, then please let us know how we can do that. As I've said before, and as we've said throughout this incident, please check our homepage on COVID-19 and also our social media pages as well that can provide accurate, up-to-date information. I think I'd be remiss if I didn't say something in particular about this being a challenging situation, certainly for all of us. But sometimes in these situations, we find the best in people as well. And through that, we'd ask everybody within the community to reach out to your neighbors. And there are folks that maybe can't get out because they're ill or shouldn't get out or have other reasons where they can't. So maybe on that weekly grocery run that you make, maybe pick up something for your neighbors and try and help them out. The little things are going to make a big difference within our community, and so we ask everybody just to come together and do that. So with that, I'll turn it back over. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Now we have Mesa County Health Department and Amanda Maley.
Thanks so much. All of your presence here today shows the strong partnership that we at Mesa County Public Health are relying upon. Our focus is on the response to this public health pandemic that is occurring in our community and around the world. A lot of people have asked about stay-at-home orders that they've seen on a national level and even here on a statewide level. Rest assured, Mesa County Public Health is in communication with all of our city and county leaders, and there is a plan in place should that become necessary. We're not there yet, and this isn't as simple as the sooner we do it, the sooner it will be over. Our case count right now of confirmed COVID patients in Mesa County remains at 5. Our team of experts is actively monitoring the spread in our community. We have epidemiologists, disease investigative experts, and many people on staff that are monitoring this not only on a daily basis, but a minute-by-minute basis. And the moment that changes, we are ready to direct our community to take other actions. But right now, what we're asking our community to do is exactly what our incident commander just stressed to you. Take precautions to protect yourself and those around you. Wash your hands frequently. Take trips to needed and essential places. Go to the places that you need to go to, but if you don't have to go, consider staying at home. If we're doing those things now, we will be ready should additional orders be needed. Mesa County Public Health is committed to making sure that we are united as a community and we are ready and responsive to this incident that we know is impacting so many of us, and so many of you might be scared. We're all in it together. We ask that you do your part to be a community and help listen to the guidelines and recommendations from your public health agency.
Thank you, Amanda. That's great information. Now we'll transition a little bit to our Mesa County Administrator, so Pete Baer.
Thank you, Greg. Yeah, from Mesa County's perspective, again, the partnership you're seeing here today, meeting with all the folks and with the City of Grand Junction and the ED partners, real important to us. And as mentioned by the mayor and others, this really is a two-pronged approach we're doing. One of our primary goals as Mesa County, of course, is to support the health department, which you just heard from, and providing them all resources necessary. In addition to that, we're trying to keep as many business functions open and running safely per the public health thing. So some of those include, for instance, yesterday we did 135 inspections out of the building department. So we're trying to keep that activity going and moving forward. We still are titling and licensing vehicles. Now, some of these are more online, or some of these are by appointment, or we're limiting exposure to folks and things, but we're trying to keep business running as normal in many places. Grand Valley Transit, which is a partnership among many of the groups, is still running. We are doing additional cleaning. We're doing some reduced routes depending on what we're doing. We're also putting buses in service that would otherwise not be there on the routes where we have a number of folks that want to do it to try to keep the social spacing going. The landfill is still running and active, and that's important in a time like this, that we still have active trash service going on for our businesses and for our members. I could go on a couple of course, our jail and our emergency response is still fully functioning. We continue to move forward on critical capital infrastructure projects, which is important for our construction industry and other industries, that we continue to look at those. And we continue, biggest thing here is it is twofold. We're really trying to make sure that we are trying to do as much business as possible. At the same time, we're doing it under the healthcare umbrella. So we're doing it under all the new guidance that comes out of either the state and then down through our local health department, and making sure. So it changes a bit. I would say look at our website. Each department updates if they're changing hours, if they're changing how they're doing business. All that's updated on the Mesa County website, www.mesacounty.us. So that's our main message. We're here with everybody else. We're going to keep doing the things we can. We're trying to move forward. I think you're hearing the same message from everybody. We're moving forward. We're taking precautions. And as things change, we'll keep you updated. So thank you very much.
So as I referenced earlier, one of the main points today as we talked about the health pandemic was to also address the economic crisis here locally that we're seeing. And so the next several speakers will address specifically related to their agency and how they're assisting and resources that are available. You've heard a couple times reference to ED partners. So that's the Economic Development Partnership within our community. And it's a variety of agencies that work together, including the city and the county, collaboratively to work on economic development. So to kick off this section is Curtis Engelhardt with the Workforce Center.
Thank you, Greg. Like Greg said, I'm Curtis Engelhardt. I'm the director at the Mesa County Workforce Center. And what we're seeing at the Workforce Center right now is a huge influx in phone calls, all related to unemployment insurance and how do you file a claim. Please note that the Mesa County Workforce cannot complete an unemployment claim for you, but we are happy to answer those basic questions for you. The state unemployment office has made some pretty impressive changes to their unemployment system due to the high call volume and influx of claims. And I do want to share some of that information with you. They have implemented a gated system. So what that means is if you are filing a claim and your last name begins with letters A through M, you can file your claim on Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, or after 12 noon on Saturday. If your last name begins with the letter N through Z, you can file your claim on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or before noon on Saturday. And to file your claim, you can visit colorado.gov/CDLE and click on the unemployment tab. The governor did sign an executive order to waive the waiting period for unemployment insurance to help expedite the amount of time before you start seeing those checks coming in. As far as the Workforce Center goes, we are operating virtually at this time. All of our services are online, and we are still providing all the services that we normally do. It's just through a different venue. We have 6 employment specialists that are here to help you. They will help you with your resume prep. They will help you with your job search. They will help you with your job interviewing. And they are willing to do phone interviews with you. If you would like to set up a phone interview with an employment specialist, please contact 248-7560. We have also implemented a daily automated job list, so that is updated every morning of the new and available jobs here in Mesa County. If you want to access those daily jobs, please go to contact 248-7575, and again, that is updated every morning. I would also highly recommend setting up an account on connectingcolorado.com, either if you're a job seeker or an employer. If you're a job seeker looking for work, once you get your account set up, you can access all jobs in Mesa County as well as across the state. If you're an employer and you're looking for employees, you can also access all the applicants that are active in Connecting Colorado that way. Again, that website is connectingcolorado.com. Lastly, we are also tracking the number of openings for childcare slots. If you need childcare assistance during this time, I would refer you to the COVID-19 hotline at 683-2300. We continue to work with all of our facilities, childcare facilities, to check in and see how many open slots they have. And right now there are quite a few openings, and we're here to connect you to those open slots. So again, you can access those open slots and get more information on licensed childcare providers, both home providers and daycare providers as well. And again, that number is 683-2300. Thank you.
Thank you, Curtis. Next, we have Grand Junction Regional Airport, Angela Padalecki.
Hi, thanks for tuning in. I'm Angela Padalecki, Executive Director at Grand Junction Regional Airport. I want to make sure the community knows that we remain open and fully operational with daily nonstop service to major airline hubs so that people and resources can safely get where they need to go. And throughout this crisis, we have remained in close contact with the partners you're hearing from today and have daily calls with Mesa County Health to ensure that we are implementing best practices and that this is a coordinated effort community-wide. Thank you.
And for downtown, we have the Downtown Development Authority Business Improvement District, Brandon Stam.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Greg, and thank you to all the partners who've really helped us in this challenging time. I'd just like to reiterate our message, which is that downtown is still open for business. We're encouraging the public to safely and responsibly shop local. Shopping locally is very important in this time. Our local businesses are really the heart of not just downtown, but our entire community. And many of our restaurants and retail establishments have made accommodations in order to make it safe for the public to shop there. And many of them also have an online presence as well. So some of the things that we're doing at downtown is we are waiving parking right now in partnership with the city. We've also created pickups locations for restaurants to make it easier to get delivery or pickup from your favorite establishment downtown. Some of the other things we're doing are promotions with partners. So we have a promotion with Instrums, who generously donated toffee. So if you spend $10 at a downtown establishment, you receive $10 or more, you receive a free box of toffee. And then today we're launching a gift card promotion. So if you spend $25 at any downtown establishment, you can go to our website, downtowngj.org, and you can upload your receipt to redeem for a $10 gift card that we will mail to you. So that launches today. And I would just ask that you stay tuned to our social media accounts as well, where we're always posting new updates as well as new promotions. Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon. Next, we have the Business Incubator, John Mershay.
Thanks, Greg. So here we are. I'd like to acknowledge the leadership that our community is putting forth. They are responding. Mayor Taggart, thank you for the leadership of the city, Pete, of the county. So the Business Incubator, for a lot of you who don't know what we do, you're going to find out very quickly. So the incubator itself houses about 50 businesses. We're keeping them in business as best we can. To highlight, our commercial kitchen is active. We're supporting food trucks. We're sterilizing, doing the things you would do to keep it going. And our food trucks are busy. So keep an eye out for them. They're small businesses. They employ people. And the food is amazing. We launched a new one yesterday, which is awesome. So those are our core programs. But some of the programs that are more relevant is disaster funding. We're all getting inundated with disaster loan information. Right now, the lead for that is the Small Business Administration through the Disaster Loan Program. It's an online application. I'll give you the webpage in a minute on how to access that. If you do access that, be patient. They are getting millions of inquiries a day, as you can imagine. The loans are $25,000 and less unsecured, $25,000 and more secured. If you get through the portal, or when you get through the portal, you'll get a number and a confirmation you've been accepted. That's when the work starts. So if you get through that and you apply for funding, you're going to need help, which is where the Grand Junction Small Business Administration SBDC program comes in. We're the SBDC for Mesa County, and we actually have 20 business coaches coaching virtually through Zoom and conference calls to help small businesses make good decisions. So if you need to put a loan package together, we can help you. If you need to put projections together, we can help you. If you need to make the hard decision on whether you keep your business in business, whether you keep employees, we can help you look at your financials and make those decisions too. If you want to access that, GJIncubator.org, sign up for coaching. Pretty easy to do. We've got people standing by and they're very, very competent. The other program that we have is the Revolving Loan Fund of Mesa County, which is quite relevant right now. We have a fair amount of money in reserve. That money is not tagged as disaster recovery loans right now. That money is set aside for the businesses in our community who actually need to access capital to buy equipment or supplies to help our community get through this. So if you're a medical supplier and you need to buy equipment to supply the hospitals, please come to us. If you are a logistics person and you need help hiring people, covering your supplies, we can likely fund that. And so we're really focusing on the solution to getting people through that. We also are waiting patiently for the Senate to pass the bill with grants and other services. When that happens, we'll put that information out. Right now, to make the information overload a little more manageable, we are referring people to the State of Colorado webpage. It's choosecolorado.com/COVID-19. It is a phenomenal resource. It's got information on disaster recovery, the SBA, the SBDCs, all the Department of Labor information. They're updating it hourly. And so while we have information on the Incubator website, it's a really great place to go for one-stop shopping and get the information you need from the state of Colorado. So we highly recommend that. And with that, just know that the ED partners in the communities, we are working tirelessly behind the scenes to help our community get through this. So with that, my next partner is amazing, so I look forward to hearing from her. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, John. And so next up we have Grand Junction Economic Partnership, Robin Brown.
Thank you, Greg. I'm Robin Brown with the Grand Junction Economic Partnership, and like the rest of my partners here, we recognize what a difficult time this is for everybody. What we're doing at the Grand Junction Economic Partnership is trying to consolidate all this information for our businesses on a one-stop landing page on our website. And so if you go to GJEP.org, GJEP.org, we have tried to organize, and we are updating it constantly because the information changes constantly, all the resources available for our businesses as the resources become available. We've had a number of very difficult conversations with companies that have been forced to close their doors and are now being forced to lay off their employees. And so we have a resource guide that is a step-by-step guide on how to properly lay off your employees, one, so that they get the resources they need through unemployment and other things as they become available, but two, to make it easy to rehire them when the time comes. So all of those resources are on our page. The GJEP staff is here to help. You can find all our contact information on our website. Again, that's gjep.org. Feel free to reach out to us. And finally, our economy, I believe, will be resilient. This crisis is temporary. I think if everybody follows the published guidelines put out by our city, our health department, our county, and the state, we'll get through this faster. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. And our last speaker today regarding the Economic Development Partnership and what's going on there is with the Grand Junction Chamber of Commerce, Diane Schwenke.
Thank you, Greg. So I'm batting cleanup, and just very briefly, at the Grand Junction Area Chamber, we've actually probably taken the lead in listening to what businesses want. We've conducted a survey over the past week and had about 160 responses in terms of what kinds of information they need. Actually, the suggestion that the city look at the sales tax deferral came through that process. We've had some other suggestions that we are implementing as well. And we'll be launching a series of short webinars on things like business continuity and about all of the partners that you've heard from today. I think that in deference to our time limit, though, I'm going to stick with the major announcement that we have to make at the conclusion of this particular press briefing about ED partners. We are actually announcing that we are expanding and giving ourselves a new name and broadening our scope of work as a group effective immediately. We will now be known as the Mesa County Economic Development First Responders, and we will act as the central point for collaboration, coordination, and dissemination of information, working together as we always have as ED partners, but now also working with the governor's recently announced Colorado Economic Recovery Council. Members of this group now include Mesa County, City of Grand Junction, City of Fruita, Town of Palisade, the CEOs of the Grand Junction, Fruita, and Palisade Chambers, Mesa County Workforce Center, Business Incubator Center, Grand Junction Economic Partnership, Downtown Grand Junction Partnership, Colorado Mesa University, and the Grand Junction Regional Airport. We are in daily communication now, and we are hosting weekly virtual meetings with more of them scheduled on an as-needed basis. This expanded collaborative effort will serve our small businesses throughout this economic crisis, bringing resources to them, and together, just as we have always done in this valley whenever there has been an economic downturn, we are going to emerge even stronger economically when this is over. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane, and I want to take this opportunity to thank all of our speakers today, and thank you to the viewers to tuning in and being engaged. We look forward to your additional questions and also suggestions on who you want to see up here speaking and addressing issues. So we look forward to your comments in that regard. Hopefully what you've seen today is a strong, cohesive effort that we're all working together. It's so important as we move through this crisis to rest assured that we are working collaboratively as a team. Also, what we have going on is the health pandemic. There's that we have excellent, very capable individuals at the health department addressing. Also with your county and city addressing critical first responder and infrastructure needs. And then again, as you've seen today from our Economic Development Partnership, a comprehensive view of looking at our community and addressing issues. So thank you again, and tune in till next time.